A part of East Texas history is being moved and will soon begin a new chapter. Sections of the historic Jefferson Railway were sold to a nonprofit organization in Florida. East Texas News Weekend's Andrew Culver spoke with the past railway owners about the future of it.
Francine DePries Rainey and her husband Don Rainey owned the historic Jefferson Railway for 22 years. They retired in 2024 and put the railway up for sale. The train that once offered scenic rides for families has been closed since. Francine Rainey says the railway brought in around 20,000 people a year to Jefferson.
Jefferson's already missing that train. They sure are.
We just feel very fortunate that we were able to touch so many lives with our work with the children.
The Raineys sold a gas-powered locomotive, 3 open-air cars that hold 150 passengers each, a parlor car, a flat car, and 3 miles of railway. Kirby Family Farm, a nonprofit out of Florida, made the purchase for about $200,000 in May. The organization owns 110 acres of land and showcases historic trains. The Raineys previously donated a steam locomotive to the nonprofit in 2019.
What we really appreciate is that they are a nonprofit that works with children. And so their whole mission is helping children. And for Don and I, that just fits in with our mission.
The depot was built in the 1930s and was moved to its current location in East Texas in the 1980s. The rail was originally milled in the late 1800s in Tennessee. The Raineys offered rides to families at Christmas, Halloween, and joined in on the Jefferson Civil War reenactment. They say it's time to say goodbye.
I think it's easier to pick it up and put it down. I can say that.
Andrew Culver, East Texas News Weekend.
The railway track is currently being torn down by high school volunteers. Kirby Family Farm will start taking cars in the next few weeks.